Welcome to the Student Scholars Public Speaking Series. When it comes to public speaking, we often spend a lot of time preparing our speeches, making sure our message is clear and compelling. However, one aspect of speaking that many people find challenging is handling questions from the audience. Whether during or after your speech, questions are a natural part of communication, and handling them with confidence can leave a lasting positive impression. In this speech, I'll walk you through some essential strategies for answering questions confidently and clearly, helping you navigate this part of your presentation with ease. 1. Why handling questions is important. Before we dive into tips and techniques, let's talk about why handling questions is such an important skill in public speaking. Engagement. When the audience asks questions, it shows that they're engaged and interested in your topic. It's a sign that they're paying attention and want to learn more from you. Credibility. How you respond to questions can influence how your audience perceives your expertise. Answering confidently and clearly can establish you as a knowledgeable speaker. Connection. Responding thoughtfully to questions creates a stronger connection between you and your audience. It gives them a chance to clarify any doubts and reinforces the idea that you value their input. 2. Anticipate questions in advance. One of the most effective ways to handle questions confidently is to anticipate them before your speech. Think about your topic and the possible questions that might arise. Prepare answers to these questions ahead of time so that when they come up, you'll be ready. Here's how to do it. Know your material. The more familiar you are with your content, the easier it will be to answer any questions. Review your speech, anticipate areas where people might need further clarification, and come up with concise answers. Think about possible concerns. Consider any objections or concerns your audience might have about your topic. Being prepared for these tough questions will help you handle them with confidence when they arise. 3. Stay calm and listen carefully. When a question is asked, it's important to stay calm and listen carefully to what is being asked. Here's why this is crucial. Listen actively. Before jumping to an answer, make sure you fully understand the question. Pay attention to the tone, the context, and the specific words the person is using. Sometimes, the way a question is asked can provide hints about the best way to respond. Take a deep breath. If you feel nervous or caught off guard by the question, take a moment to breathe. It's perfectly okay to pause for a second before responding. This will help you gather your thoughts and ensure you give a well-thought-out answer. 4. Clarify the question if needed. If you don't fully understand the question, it's important to ask for clarification. This can help you avoid answering the wrong thing and shows that you're genuinely interested in providing the best response. You can say something like, "I'm sorry, could you clarify what you mean by that?" That's a great question. Just to make sure I understand correctly, are you asking? "I'm not sure I fully understand your question. Could you explain it in a little more detail?" This approach demonstrates your willingness to engage and ensures you're addressing the right issue. 5. Answer clearly and concisely. When answering questions, aim to be clear and concise. Avoid going off on tangents or providing overly long answers. Here are a few tips for staying on track. Be straightforward. Give a direct response to the question without adding unnecessary information. Keep your answer focused and to the point. Use simple language. Make sure your answer is easily understandable. Even if the topic is complex, try to explain it in a way that your audience can follow. Stay positive. If the question is challenging or seems to critique your presentation, respond with a positive attitude. Focus on offering solutions or providing additional insights rather than getting defensive. 6. Handling difficult or unexpected questions. Sometimes you'll be faced with difficult or unexpected questions. These can be intimidating, but don't worry, you can handle them effectively by staying calm and composed. Here are some strategies for difficult questions. Stay calm and don't take it personally. Remember, the question is about your topic, not about you. If the question seems challenging or critical, take a deep breath and respond with professionalism. Acknowledge the difficulty. If you don't have an immediate answer, it's okay to admit that. You can say something like, "That's a great question, and I'll need to think about it further." You can always offer to follow up with more information later if needed. Deflect with respect. If the question is off-topic or inappropriate, you can politely steer it back to the subject at hand. For example, "That's an interesting point, but I think we should stick to the topic of today's presentation." 7. Involve the audience in your answers. Sometimes, audience members will ask a question that you might not have a direct answer to, but you can still involve the audience in the conversation. You could say something like, "That's an excellent question. What do others in the room think about this?" "I don't have the answer at this moment, but let's open it up to the group and hear different perspectives." This encourages audience participation and makes the session feel more interactive. 8. End on a positive note. When you've answered all the questions, try to end the Q&A session on a positive and confident note. You can wrap things up by thanking the audience for their questions and expressing appreciation for their engagement. For example, you could say, "Thank you all for such thoughtful questions. I'm glad we had the chance to discuss this topic further." That concludes the Q&A. I appreciate everyone's participation, and I hope this discussion helped clarify some points. In conclusion, handling questions from the audience is an essential skill in public speaking. By anticipating questions, staying calm, and responding clearly, you can turn the Q&A portion of your speech into an opportunity to engage with your audience and reinforce your message. Remember, questions are a sign of an interested and engaged audience, and with the right mindset, you can answer them confidently and leave a positive impression. This concludes our video on handling questions from the audience. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have now. See you next time.